Any questions? Anyone? Do we need
Can
time?
you go back to the top?
Yes, please.
Where did you get the x squared from? Yeah, right there, that one. Oh, okay. Okay.
Because this is gone.
All right.
I have my props here. So this is gone. So then I have negative x times x, which is negative x squared.
Okay.
Better?
Let's see it now. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Good. Other questions? Very good question. Anything else? Okay. Again, with your permission, let's move on to the last one. So this is 105. And we have 1 plus x squared over 2 the square root of x minus 2x the square root of x, and everything divided by 1 plus x squared squared. And this will be the last one in this handout, unless you want to choose others. You are always free to choose problems in this class, always. Okay, obviously there is nothing I can do to the denominator. It has to stay as is. Good, but I have to work on the numerator. And I need to find the least common denominator. I could never simplify anything like this. So I need the least common denominator in the numerator.
To the square root of x.
2 to the square root of x, excellent. Obviously the denominator here is 1, so I have to multiply by 2 the square root of x. I will copy 1 plus x squared. We reached minus, but I have to be careful. 2 times x times the square root of x times the square root of x. Can anyone calculate that for us? Sorry, I have a running nose in the last couple of days. I'm not sure what's going on. So, 2x, the square root of x is square root of x with minus in front.
Is it negative 4x squared?
Excellent. Negative 4x squared. This is x times x is x squared. 2 times 2 is 4. Negative 4x squared. Brilliant. Always remember everything is over 1. If it doesn't have a fraction, I mean if it doesn't have a denominator, everything is over 1. This one is not over 1, even that one is, but you know what I mean. This one is over 1, so I know what to do next. I'm dividing two fractions. The numerator is 1 minus 3x squared over 2 the square root of x. Let's assume everything is okay, so x has to be greater than 0, and so on and so forth. Okay, now I have to flip. Times 1 over 1 plus x squared squared. I have to condense it. I will copy the numerator as 1 minus 3x squared, and I copy the denominator, but I prefer 2 parentheses 1 plus x squared squared, and at the very end the square root of x. We don't like quantities to be presented after the square root of x, only because we may be tempted to extend the square root over the next item, and we don't want to make that mistake. So that's why we like to leave the radical at the very end. This completes this handout, unless you have any questions. And this was section A.7 and A.6. 2 sections. Any questions? Any questions, please? Okay. I hope we are ready to move on. So we are looking now at absolute value equations and expressions. That's the 2.8. And hopefully we can start, after we finish this one, hopefully we can start the last section of the reviews, basically. Exponential and log equations. 4.3, 4.6, 4.8, these are all reviews. Okay? So we'll see what we can accomplish. Hopefully we can finish this one and start the other one. Okay, so 2.8, we are looking at absolute value. We started absolute value last time. We reviewed the formal definition. We'll review it again. So the absolute value of x, as you told me last time, is x for x greater than or equal to 0 or negative x for x less than 0. This is supposed to be looked at as a general form, general idea. This can be any expression, anything. So all these are identical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of them. So if you say, well, explain or simplify without absolute value something like x plus 2. No problem. I will just follow the pattern. I will replace all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by x plus 2. So I have x plus 2 if x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0, or negative x plus 2 if x plus 2 is less than 0. I don't have to do anything. I just mimic what I see here, so to speak. Yes, this is not acceptable. I have to write it as greater than or equal to negative 2. This is not acceptable. I have to write it as negative x less than negative 2. But the pattern is the same. I'm using the formal definition of the absolute value for any expression. So now, on this handout, we are asked to simplify. I'll come back to the equations. We are asked to simplify something like this. It's a piece of cake. Let's start with 2x minus 6 in absolute value, because it's exactly just this. So the absolute value of 2x minus 6 is 2x minus 6 if 2x minus 6 is greater than or equal to 0, is the opposite of 2x minus 6 if 2x minus 6 is less than 0. That's all I have to do. Just plug it in 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any expression. Yes, I'm not going to leave it like this. I'm going to continue and write 2x minus 6. Move 6 and divide by 2. X greater than or equal to 3. And here I'm going to write negative 2x plus 6. And of course, I don't ever need to solve this. If this is greater than or equal to 3, the other one has to be the opposite. I only need to solve one inequality. And I solve the first one. I don't even care what this is. It has to be this. There is no other way. So that's the simplified form of the absolute value to x minus 6. Done. Now if I want to simplify a fraction, I have to be careful. But let's take a moment and see if we have questions on this. Any questions on this problem before we continue with other simplifications? Please feel free to ask any question. Don't be shy. It's better to solve questions or answer questions in class. Anyone? Okay. It means that this is clear. Give me a sign, anybody, please.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay, let's continue then. I'm on page 7. So now the next example basically includes what we just had, 2x minus 6 divided by 2x minus 6. Well, this is a different story. I have to be careful here. I will copy what I just had because I determined this already on my previous page. So I already know that the absolute value of 2x minus 6 from here is 2x minus 6 for x greater than 3 or negative, and I'm going to keep it like this for a moment. 2x minus 6 for x less than 3. But this is not the question. I only took care of the first piece. But the question is asking us to simplify 2x minus 6 in absolute value over 2x minus 6. Because this piece has two options, the whole thing will have two options. When the top is 2x minus 6, notice that x cannot be 3. So I could, here it's okay to have included, but here it's not okay because the denominator will be a problem. So I will have two options. One's with greater than 3, never equal because of the denominator, and the other one was less than 3. So now let's see what we get. If the top is 2x minus 6 and the denominator is 2x minus 6, what do I get? Okay, one more time. If the numerator is 2x minus 6 and the denominator is 2x minus 6, what is the simplified form?
1.
Exactly. Very good. Awesome. Thank you, Charles. What about the second option? If the numerator is negative 2x minus 6 and the denominator is 2x minus 6, what will be the simplified form then? Notice that was specifically why I kept it like
-1.
-1. Notice that I can never have equal symbol anywhere because 2x minus 6 is 0 when x is 3. So 2x minus 6 in absolute value alone is all this. But 2x minus 6 in absolute value over 2x minus 6 is this. For greater than 3, for x greater than 3, or this for x less than 3. Any questions? Is this okay?
Why did you separate the negative one from the? I'm trying to recognize the significance of what you did.
You're asking how we got 1 and negative 1?
No, I'm asking why did you put the negative? Why did you put in parentheses that and put the negative?
So first of all, that's what we had originally. And then we distributed and we wrote it here. The reason why I wanted it in this format is because it's much easier for everyone to see negative 2x minus 6 over 2x minus 6 versus negative 2x plus 6 over 2x minus 6. Very good question. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Good, moving on. Well, anybody remembers we discussed this, the square root of x squared last time. What is the answer?
1.
Careful.
X.
Careful.
Absolute value of x.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who tried. That's all I care about, trying. So we can discuss everything here. That's very important to me. That's it. Now, if I tell you that x is a positive number or 0, then you can say the square root of x squared equals x. But if we don't know what x is, like here, we don't know what it is, then I have to write the absolute value. If I'm told, don't worry, everything is positive, then I can write this. But if I don't know, I have to write this. And we have a function, this function 32. We want to write it without absolute value. That's another expression like this. Nothing difficult. On page 8. And this is f of x, negative the absolute value of x plus 3 minus 1. I have to start with the absolute value of x plus 3. Can anyone dictate what I should write? For the absolute value of x plus 3. what will you write? What are the options? Anyone, please? Anyone would like to help? To give us the...
Plus 3.
Yes, oh, indeed.
X greater than or equal to minus 3.
Correct. Excellent. And the other one is the opposite. I don't have to do anything, just copy the opposite of that inequality. Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Good. So this was just this piece. Not the one with minus in front and not the one subtracted from it. So now I can write f of x equals negative times this minus 1. Negative times x plus 3 minus 1. For x greater or equal to negative 3. Now the second one, negative times this is x plus 3, but minus 1 for x less than negative 3. I cannot exclude anything because there is no denominator. Here I had to exclude 3. I had to exclude 3. I had no choice because there was a denominator and that would create a problem. But here I cannot exclude, and I should not exclude anything because there is no denominator. There is no problem. So I took this piece first, and 1, 2, 3, they're the same. So I solved the inequality, x plus 3 greater or equal to 0. So this is already solved. Excellent. Well done. And now I have to put it in. The function will have two options because this piece has two options. If this piece has two options, the function must have two options. And what are they? The opposite of this, and then minus 1. What is the second option? The opposite of the second option, which is x plus 3, still minus 1. Is it done? No, I have to combine here. So the final form, so what are we trying to do here? We are trying to express f of x with no absolute value. That's the target. Okay? As you see, the absolute value is a very specific type of expression, right? So negative x minus 4. Sorry. And x plus 2. And that's it. So we expressed f of x without absolute value. That's all we wanted to do. And now we are ready to look at some equations. The equations don't require these many steps at all. So one equation is 22, which is 1 minus 2z plus 6 equals 9. What will be the first step? And then I'll show you the shortcut, which we discussed last time. What will be the first step? The absolute value 1 minus 2z plus 6 equals 9. What will you do first to solve this equation?
Subtract 6.
Of course. So the absolute value 1 minus 2z equals 3. And remember, we have two options. This to be 3 and this to be negative 3. How come? Because if I put in here 3, the absolute value of 3 is 3. If I put in here negative 3, the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. That's why this quantity can be 3 or negative 3. So 1 minus 2z equals 3. 1 minus 2z equals negative 3. Yes, I have to solve for z. So I move 1. I get 2. Negative 2z equals 2, so z equals negative 1. I move 1, I get negative 4 divided by negative 2, z equals 2. You can always say, wait a minute, let me check. Fine. Negative 2 times negative 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. The absolute value is 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. With 2, negative 4 minus 1 is negative 3. The absolute value is 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. You can always do that. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, this is a review from algebra. Okay, here's a quick question for you to upload today. Just a very quick one. 3 minus 1/2 x equals 4. So let's work on this problem for a couple of minutes. Upload